All right, gentlemen, welcome to your 2024 Goozie draft analysis. We're going to get right into it, getting a little rating of every team, explaining some of the picks these players took. And we're going to start off with Team Goozie, Deanna Corso. So first off, right at the bat, we got quarterback Josh Allen. You know, Josh Allen could do it all. He can run, he can throw, doesn't have the weapons this year. Should still be a good fantasy quarterback. Problem is, you don't take him in the second round. Next, you got Bijan at RB1. Can't go wrong. Bijan's going to have an unbelievable year. I don't think Tyler Algier will really be in the mix that much. It's going to be Bijan's backfield, and he could end up as the RB1. As the RB2, we got Zamir White. Wide receiver 1, we got Davante Adams. Davante Adams, I thought about it over and over. He's going to be good this year. You know, he was good with Aiden O'Connell at the back end of last year. Shit hits the fan. You got Gardner Minshew backing him up. He's going to be all right. I don't think he's going to be as explosive and have a career year, but his ceiling and his floor isn't that low. Next, you got DK Metcalf. You know, I kind of put him in the same category. You know, he's going to be on the field. He's going to get his targets. He's going to get his catches. He's going to be good. He's just not going to go nuclear. You know, he'll have weeks where he does really well, but at the end of the day, he's not going to go nuclear. You know, I think he's missed one game in 5 years. He's consistent. Trey McBride, going to have a good year. Good tight end. Kyler stays healthy. He should have a good year. Zay Flowers. Zay should be good. You know, he'll have that intermediate routes, those deep routes. You know, Mark Andrews is still a safety blanket. You know, the Ravens seem to go to more of a run-heavy offense with Derrick Henry getting over there. Then you got the Niners defense, Justin Tucker. You know, don't start the Niners defense week 1. You'll be all right. And then I don't know if you guys could see here, but his bench, one of the worst benches I've ever seen in my life. For a 10-man, team's awful. Straight up. Team's just not good for a 10-man league. So that is Corso's team, and I would probably give Corso's team like a C-. All right, let's go to the next team. The next team, we got Move Them Chains, Lansky. All right, here we go. We got Lamar at quarterback. Again, Lamar's going to do his thing. He can run, he can pass. Good fantasy quarterback. His volume might be a little lower considering Henry's there, but, you know, it's going to be pretty similar to what he did last year, and that's very, very good. Saquon's going to do his thing. He's going to be a good running back. Problem is, a handful of touchdowns are going to be taken away due to the tush push. You know, I still think he's going to be a great fantasy running back, but you're going to miss out on a few touchdowns out of him. Jahmyr Gibbs. I think his ADP was too high. I think they're going to run a similar scheme from last year. I think Montgomery's ADP was too low, and it's going to be the same thing. Montgomery's going to get the goal line. You know, you got that hamstring injury for Gibbs you got to worry about. I think that they think Gibbs' volume is going to increase a lot, and I don't think it is. I think it's going to be a similar team from last year, and he's going to have similar production. Drake London, he should be good. With Kirk there, let's see how Kirk works in that Atlanta offense. Should be pretty decent. You know, you got Kyle Pitts, you got Bijan. There's some weapons there. You know, Kirk stays healthy. Drake London will finish as a top 15 receiver. Nico, everyone's worried about the Texans. Nico Collins is going to be fine. He's going to be fine. The Texans are going to have a top 3 offense. They're going to throw the ball. They're going to share the love. Nico's going to get his targets. He's going to get his touchdowns. He's going to get his yards. He's going to be just fine. He's Stroud's number one guy, and Stroud's going to find him. All right? Enough with these Texans fucking bullshit. Kincaid's going to have a good year. He's like the only weapon that Josh Allen has from like last year besides like Khalil Shakir. So he'll be good. Maybe top 5 tight end. Ayuk similar to Nico Collins, on a high-powered offense, is still going to get his touches, still going to get his points, still going to get his receptions, still going to get his touchdowns. If he stays on the Niners, of course. If he doesn't, and the Steelers, it's a whole different situation. As of right now, we're going to assume he's going to be a Niner. Saints defense, Fairbairn, bench is exceptional bench. You got Deontay Johnson, If one of these receivers don't end up working out, you can audible to an Amari Cooper or to a Deontay Johnson. So overall, it's a pretty decent team. I also blame Spencer for making that trade with him because now Lansky's team's pretty good. I would give Lansky's team an A-. Next team, my team. It's not often you see teams this good, but they do come around once a generation. And I don't know how it ended up this way, but it did. It's not often you see 3 top 10 running backs on one team. It's not often you can get a top 5 quarterback in the 10th round. And it's not often that you can get 2 top 5 wide receivers in the 4th and 5th round. Starting off with Kyler Murray. Again, Kyler's got Maserati. He's got Trey. He's got James Conner. He's got Trey Benson. Kyler, when he's healthy, if he's healthy, is going to be a top 5 quarterback. He's got the rushing upside. I don't care if you say the Cardinals are going to suck. If you say he's not that good of a quarterback, he's a great fantasy quarterback, and the real ones know it. Next, Christian McCaffrey. RB1 last year. I don't have to explain. ETN, great year last year. His volume's not going to get any lower. If anything, it's going to go up. He'll finish as a top 6, 7 running back. And James Cook. When I talk about nuclear, these are the guys I'm talking about. James Cook is going to go nuclear. He was a top 5 running back in the second half last year. They lost Diggs. They're going to run the ball so much more than people think. They're not going to have Josh Allen air it out 50 times a game. They're going to run the ball. They're going to run the ball. And they're going to run the ball. And they have a good offensive line. And he can catch passes. He is going to go nuclear. I have him as finishing as a top 5 running back. Deebo Samuel Jr. Similar to Nico, to Ayuk, he's going to do his thing. He's going to take jet sweeps. He's going to be in the backfield. He's going to take screens 50 yards for touchdowns. He's going to get his points, and he's going to be a good wide receiver. With the upside of Ayuk getting traded, Deebo Samuel will finish as the number 1 wide receiver in fantasy football in 2024. Mark my words. Cooper Kupp. We all heard the news. Cooper Kupp in training camp is the guy. Stafford is back to throwing to Kupp like he is the wide receiver 1. God forbid Cooper Kupp returns to his former self. You're all fucked. Next, Evan Ingram. Finished as the tight end 4 last year. His volume's not going to go down. Ridley left. They got Gabe Davis. Not worried about that. He's Trevor Lawrence's safety blanket. He'll finish as top 5 again, top 4. Steelers defense, they find a way to make things happen. The bench, you got Pickens. If Kupp doesn't return to his former self, if someone comes down with an injury and I gotta switch James Cook to an RB2, gotta put someone in the flex. I got him. Rashee Rice also on the bench. I heard some birds chirping about that pick, but he's built for my second half push. For the playoffs. When teams clinch or someone gets hurt, and he's there in the second half of the year, and he's going to be ready to make a play. And then Ladd McConkey, someone's got to be good on that offense. I rate that team an A+. Next team. Next team is a kissing emoji and a skull emoji. Not sure what that means, but Spencer's team. Joe Burrow, ADP way too high. He's not gonna be able to run the ball. Not gonna run the ball. He'll get his touchdowns. He'll get his yards. He's an okay quarterback for fantasy. That's it. Breece Hall, best pick of the draft by far. How the fuck this guy got him at 6 just blows my mind. He will probably finish as the RB1. Yeah, he will. He'll finish as the RB1. It was the best. It was the steal of the draft. It was the best pick of the draft. It sucks that the rest of the team sucks because he would have had a very good team at 6 if he just drafted or didn't trade like an idiot. Pacheco, ADP too high. Took him way too early. He'll be okay still. Still be a good running back. It's Mahomes' team. Mahomes is going to pass the ball. He's okay. He'll do good. Calvin Ridley, Godwin as the wide receiver 1 and 2. One of the worst I've ever seen in 10 men. One of the worst I've ever seen in a 10-man league. I don't even want to explain it. I'm moving on. It makes me angry. Kyle Pitts, yeah. He should be good, but we've been saying he should be good ever since he came out of college, so we'll see what happens there. He's got a better situation now. I understand that. I hope he can't get worse than fucking when he first came in the league. Kamara. He'll be okay. He's on one of the worst offenses in the NFL. Good for Kamara. Derek Carr can't throw the ball over 20 yards, so he'll just dump off passes to him. So that's good for his fantasy aspect. He'll still be decent. He'll still be good. It's Kamara. Browns D, Young Hoku. Najee on the bench, awful. Sutton, yeah, one of the worst benches I've ever seen too. This team's awful. I rate this team C- as well as Corso's. Next team. Keon's Dairy Farm. Keon's Dairy Farm, Carl Crayer. Let's see what we got. Jalen Hurts at quarterback. Yeah, good fantasy quarterback. Runs, throws, should be good. Good pick. He'll be a good quarterback. Top 5. Kenneth Walker. I think his ADP was too low. I think he's going to be a lot better. I am kind of worried about Charbonnet because I think come the second half of the year, they're going to be splitting more carries than people think. Kenneth is still that guy. He's still a good running back. That Seahawks team hasn't really changed much. He should still get his touchdowns, his yards. As my RB1, I don't like it. I like him as an RB2, but take him. We can get him. Montgomery, way too low of an ADP. He's going to be the touchdown getter. Like I said with Jameer, that offense isn't going to change much. They think Gibbs' volume is going to go up, but it's not. Puka. Like I said about Kupp, who knows? Puka's ADP was too high too. Regardless if Kupp is that wide receiver 1, Puka's still going to be a good receiver, but way too high for where he was getting drafted. Keon Coleman. I mean, that's family, but that's really fucking bad. Keon is my wide receiver 2. All right. Njoku, also don't like that. I know he did well last year, but I think that was Joe Flacco. I think Flacco, as a veteran, found his tight end, found his safety blanket. With Deshaun running the team, I don't really know. Olave, also way too high of an ADP. That offense is not going to be good. He'll be a good wide receiver, but for where he was getting drafted, he's not. No. CD on the bench. Explains Keon Coleman. CD on the bench. What are we doing here, bro? All right. And also, I would start Kittle over Njoku, Kyle. And I would start Rodgers over Hurts. I rate this team With CD in there, I rate it like a B minus. C plus. Now we got the single father of three. I believe that's Luca. Luca. I remember Luca drafting here. I was just like, wow, this team's going to be bad. Yeah, typical, casual. We're going to get Mahomes at quarterback. Yeah, he's going to be fine. He'll be decent. He's nothing crazy. Seems like he's gotten to the point where he doesn't try till the playoffs now. Josh Jacobs, as my RB1, awful. He'll be decent. I don't really know how they're going to work. He'll be decent. He'll get his touchdowns. He'll get his touches. I don't like him as my RB1, but we'll still put up decent numbers. James Conner, I like. I think his ADP was way too low. I don't think Trey Benson, at least in the beginning of the year, is going to be getting that many touches. So I think James Conner was way low for his ADP. I think that's a good pick there. Jamar Chase, again, going to do his thing. As long as Burrow's healthy, as long as he's healthy, he should be fine. He'll put up top 5 numbers. Pittman, I like as your wide receiver too. Pittman was hard because he's not that big name guy, but he puts up good numbers. But also it was with Minshew last year, and now it's a run-heavy offense with Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson. So I don't know how much he's going to fall off, but he should still be decent. He's that number 1 wide receiver there. Mark Andrews, yeah, that's Lamar's safety blanket. He'll be a top 5 tight end. Keenan, it's an awful flex. There's one out you have, and rookie quarterbacks tend to kind of have a certain safety blanket within their offense. You saw that with Will Levis and DeAndre Hopkins. You just gotta hope that's Keenan Allen for Caleb Williams. There's a bunch of weapons. He's not the wide receiver 1. For a 10-man, he should not be in a starting lineup. But Cowboys D, Mac Yeh, Christian Kirk, pretty bad bench. Yeah, pretty bad bench. This team's like a B. Next, we have Nice Try. What the fuck is this name? Nice Try, Diddy? What the hell? Nice try, Diddy. Strat at quarterback. Yeah, he doesn't really have the rushing upside, but he's so good. He's going to put up so many touchdowns, so many yards. He's going to be a good fantasy quarterback. Kyron, love Kyron. I had the one-on-one, so I never really had a chance at Kyron, but I think he's going to be unbelievable this year. That's a great pick. And then we get the worst pick of the draft. Yeah. Here comes the worst pick of the draft. We have Ramondre Stevenson as an RB2. I wouldn't put him at my kicker if I could. Tyreek Hill. He'll finish as the wide receiver 1, 2, or 3. Marvin Harrison. Maserati, he can really do it. Before Jamar, back then, you didn't really see rookie wide receivers explode, but in today's game, you do. You saw it with Jez, you saw it with Jamar, and I think that Marvin could be one of those guys. I think he has upside. I think it's a good pick. Brock Bowers, the name sounds good, he's drafted top 10 or whatever, 11 pick. It looks good. I don't know if it's actually going to plan out to be good, but I guess you're hoping. DJ Moore, yeah, he's similar again to the Nico Collins, to the Ayuks, to the Debos. He's going to hopefully get his touches. If Caleb Williams is good, it seems like he's good, so he'll be good. He's a good flex spot. He'll have those games where he puts up 2-3 points, but then he'll have those games where he'll go for a lot. Bench, we got Waddle, Jalen Warren, Jerome Ford. Yeah, great bench. Great bench. That team, dude, Ramondre really fucks up that team. If he didn't draft Ramondre, that team would have been unreal, but I gotta rate it a B. Yeah, I give it a B. We got Duke's Dungeon. Duke's Dungeon, here we go. Anthony Richardson stays healthy, top 5 QB. You know, he's a rusher. He can throw, I think. Yeah, good pick. Good quarterback. This is where I hate your team, Aiden, is your running backs. I think both of these guys are going to be awful. You have Aaron Jones, who's 31 years old, and what's going to be a Sam Darnold-led offense. He's not going to be good. He's a flex at most. And I think Rashad White's an RB2. I don't like him. I don't like him. Amon-Ra, he's going to do his thing. Great receiver. A.J. Brown, great wide receiver too. You know, they're going to be more of a run-heavy offense. They got Devontae Smith, but A.J. will be just fine. He'll be just fine. Laporta, his ADP was too high. You know, he had 10 touchdowns last year. He's not going to have 10. He'll have 6 touchdowns. He's still going to be great. He'll still be a top 3 receiver, but I think he was literally going as the tight end 1. He's not going to be the tight end 1. His ADP was too high, but it's still a great tight end. Tank Dell, I don't know about that at my flex. I think he's going to have those games where he probably gets 2 touchdowns, but he's not going to be a consistent wide receiver. You'll have breakout games, but he's not going to give you a consistent 15 to 20 every game. It's just not going to happen with that offense. Jets defense, yep, you got the best defense in the league. Wow, Jonathan Brooks on the bench, that's going to be huge. He's going to end up, he'll be starting for Tank Dell very soon. You got Christian Watson. Okay, Ben, I mean, Jonathan Brooks on the bench makes up for everything on the bench, so. Duke's team. It's not as worse as I thought. I'll give yours a B-. Next, we got Massimo. Purdy, quarterback, not good. Not a good fantasy quarterback at all. He really doesn't throw for that many yards. He throws for like 220. He'll get like 3 or 4 touchdowns, which is nice, but he doesn't rush. He doesn't run the ball either. Derrick Henry. See, I was so high on Henry, you know, just because of the name, the offense, and I kind of settled back down on him. He's going to be good. He's going to get his touchdowns. He's going to be a good running back. I don't know if he's going to be as good as people think. Mixon, it's tough, man. I think that Texans offense is going to be a pass-heavy offense. I think Mixon's going to get some touchdowns and some yards, but they're going to pass the ball all year, all game. Justin Jefferson, going to do his thing. I don't care if it's Sam Darnold. They're going to find a way to get Jettis the ball, and he's going to be fine. He's not going to break out like he did with Kirk, but he's going to put up great numbers. Devontae Smith, like I said, it's going to be more of a run-heavy offense. You know, you got A.J. Brown. You know, Smith will be okay. For a 10-man, I don't really like him as my wide receiver too. Kelsey, going to have a much better year than people think. Had kind of an off year last year. He didn't have 1,000 yards. He's going to have 1,000 yards this year. He's going to have more touchdowns. He's going to be good. Diggs, you know, I explained this multiple times. He's going to have his breakout games. He's going to be inconsistent. Offense is too spread out. Ravens D, McPherson, Brian Robinson, T. Higgins, a pretty solid bench. I like Charbonnet on your bench. I think he's going to end up being better and more implemented in that Seahawks offense than people think. Okay, I give that team a C-. Last team, Cross. All right, Crossy. Here we go. Jordan Love at the helm. Yeah, it's. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's great. It's okay. Jordan Love at your quarterback's all right. He'll be okay. Jonathan Taylor, I think his ADP was a little too low. Not crazy low, but a little too low. I think he's going to have a bounce back year. They're going to run the ball a lot. Richardson's going to run the ball a lot. If he stays healthy, he's going to do his thing. Jonathan Taylor's going to obviously have a better year than last year. All right, Devon A-Chain. He can go nuclear. I was talking about which guys can and cannot go nuclear. Devon A-Chain is a guy that can go nuclear. I don't know, honestly. I couldn't tell you just because there's so many weapons on that offense. I don't know how they're going to use Mostert this year, and we're just going to have to find out. It's not a bad pick at all because, you could hit a grand slam here. Garrett Wilson, second best pick of the draft. Him going in late first, early second is unreal. You're going to see in drafts next year, he will be a top 5 pick. He's going to go, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even want to say nuclear because it's more than that. He's going to be unreal. Mike Evans, Mr. Inconsistent. I got nothing for him. He's just not, he's an inconsistent receiver. Mr. Bitch around. Mr. I need a good quarterback. Mr. I need a good offensive coordinator. Mr. I need the ball. Mr. Injury prone. Mr. Can't win a playoff game. Jake Ferguson. Oh, be a good tight end. Nothing special. He's gonna have those games where he probably has a touchdown or two. He's gonna have those games where he doesn't. He'll have 30 to 80 yards a game, probably more in the 40 range. You just gotta hope he gets his tutty. Malik Neighbors, another guy I love. Wow, this team is fucking hit or miss here. This team's either gonna go nuts or gonna be puke. Which means you could be doing the punishment or you can be collecting the coin. Malik Neighbors, I'm so high on him all throughout camp. It's just been him making insane plays. It's just been one of the camps. They targeted him 17 times. I believe he's going to go nuts. Jaguars D, Greg Zorline, best kicker in the league. Swift on the bench. Jaden Reed on the bench. Adunze. Zeke. Fuck out of here. All right, bench. How I think this team is going to go is how I'm going to rate it. I think this team's an A-, maybe an A, because I just think they're going to do really well. But this team is very liable for being very bad. And that's it. So I think I had the best team. The worst team, I believe, was Spencer Corso. Yeah, that's basically it. So that's your 2024 draft analysis. Comments, concerns, feel free to email me. If not, shut the fuck up. So appreciate you guys, and I'll see you for next year for 2025.